Welcome back to Become Your Dream Self YouTube channel. I had a great idea for a video. I feel like this video would have to be a banger, right? Because it's all about a mental diet. And I'm going to give you guys a little story time. And I'm also going to use a reference from the Bible because I feel like it's all relatable to a mental diet for your manifestation to pull through, right? So I'm going to start off with a little brief story time about me and how I came about this video. So it's been about 1 year since I have been on my creator journey. I am taking accountability for everything that I manifested in the past, but also taking control of my current / future moments, right? But prior to this, I had no control over any thought that came to my head. Well, I didn't know that I had control over any thought that came to my head. For instance, if I had a thought, I would play around with it a lot. Like, just say, especially if it was a thought about somebody that I, was involved with. If the thought came up about them, I would like, I wonder. Or, I would, what they say, feed into the thought a lot. And it would not feel good, guys. It would not make me feel good. I would act a certain way towards that person. I would energetically push that person away. Like, they would probably start being a certain way to me. Or basically whatever I thought about, little signs of it would pop up in my reality. And of course, we as a women, or as people who really are not aware that we're the creators of our reality, what do we say? We say that's what? Women's intuition, or a sign from God, or a vision, or things like that. But lo and behold, what it is that we're creating. Now let's forward to about maybe 3 or 4 months ago. So I was taking a shower and an old thought popped up in my head. But this thought was beating my door, like trying to push through. So when I became aware of that thought being presented to me, immediately shut it down and would just start saying my affirmation. I felt way better. I felt so empowered in that moment. So after the shower, I wanted to read the Adam and Eve story. So I'm going to give my breakdown of what that story meant. So God put man and woman over the garden, which is the mind. So in the mind, we have subconscious and conscious, which is also depicted as female and male. Like, they call the conscious the male, and they call the subconscious mind the female. The rules were never to eat from the tree of life because you will surely die. So anyways, Adam and Eve, they're going about their business. Eve was approached by a serpent who persuaded her to fall into temptation, which I feel like it was like the thought that was presented to me. This is where the mental diet either succeeds or fails. The conscious mind is supposed to be over the subconscious mind, right? It's supposed to be the more awake or alert, or the one that's in control, which is Adam. But in the story, the snake was only talking to the subconscious, only talking to Eve, not to Adam. We also find out that Adam was right next to Eve. So the snake offered the apple to Eve. She bit into it, gave some to Adam. He bit into it. Immediately, they died. Not literally, but metaphorically, they died to the state they were in, right? Because they went from having abundance, into lack, because they were naked the whole time, but they didn't see that they were naked because they were in a state of abundance. But as soon as they bit into the apple, they immediately felt lack. They immediately seen lack. They immediately seen themselves as not having what they thought they had, right? And that's how snaky thoughts do to us, right? They take us out of our abundance. Once we feed into that negative thought, we are immediately out of the state of abundance. So this is why a mental diet is so important. right? I just had to go back and read that story because I felt at that moment it was so relatable to me. I'm like, wait a minute. I felt like the serpent just offered me an apple right now. Like, let me go and read this story, see if it could be relatable to me. And it definitely was. So what's happening is, if you're not on top of your thoughts, you will get out of the state that you're in. And for instance, if I would have fed into that terrible thought, right, I would have definitely felt differently. Like I said, years before, when I would feed into that thought, it would take me to a lower place. Like, I would feel different about that person. Like, they would feel different about me. Like, literally my entire reality that I was in immediately changed. Like, it would change immediately. And I know that a lot of people can relate too. Like, once you feed into a negative thought, like, you are in a state of lack immediately. But the good thing about it is that we, moment to moment, we can change that. We don't have to stay in the state of lack. We can always get back into the state of abundance. Be on top of your thoughts. Understand that at any moment a thought come to you, and if it's not what you want, you can start affirming. Understand that it's your old self. That's the old self. Build up your mental state so that it's easier for you to reject the thoughts that you don't want. Eve was more naive, but at the same time, Adam was not strong enough, obviously, to reject. Sometimes how the mind works, but sometimes our subconscious mind encourages us to select something that may not be beneficial to us. It could be very persuasive. Keep it away. Don't consume it. Don't consume anything that is against what you want. Basically, our mind is the garden. Our subconscious mind and our conscious mind are Adam and Eve that are supposed to tend and mend the garden to make sure that our manifestations are growing. In order for our manifestations to fully grow in the garden, we have to make sure we're not falling into temptation. Adam and Eve were always naked. It's like in your reality, what you want is still growing in your garden. Truth be told, the 3D reality or the real world, you don't have what you're growing in your mental garden. But in the state of abundance, you don't know that until you are then tempted to eat the thought that you don't have it. So then now you see that you don't have it. That's why it's so important to make sure that your self-concept is to par, because that's the only way that you can mend and tend your manifestations. You're gonna reap the harvest. You're gonna get what you want. And comment down below what you think about my interpretation of that story and how it can be used in your day-to-day life as far as understanding how to create and manifest what you want. I hope you guys enjoy this video. Like, comment, and subscribe if you have not. It's going to help you get your dream life.